listening to WJOP 96.3. My name is Jessica, and we're here with Heidi Jansen from Brides Across America. And she's going to be telling us a little bit more about her organization, how she got started with it. And yeah, so Heidi, do you want to say hi?
Hi, good morning.
So thanks for coming in today. So it's about 12:30. And yeah, so Heidi, do you want to introduce your organization to us?
Sure, it's Brides Across America, and I founded the organization in 2008, and wanted to say thank you to our servicemen and women who support our country, and we gift military and first responders free gowns through our program as well as weddings.
Amazing. So cool. And so I got introduced to you through Dick George, who is the president of the 101st Airborne Division. Great man. So shout out to Dick George.
Hey, Dick.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for introducing us so we can be here today. So yeah, that's an amazing organization. So obviously weddings can be a very stressful time for some people. Lots of planning and pressure, especially when your soon-to-be husband may be about to be deployed or whatnot. So do you have maybe a little bit more information about maybe what goes into that kind of process for brides?
Sure. I would say on the military side, it's a lot more stressful for sure. There goes, especially if one is deployed and one's here planning a wedding, it's pretty hard to do when you're trying to coordinate more than, it's always easier when you're both together, but being separated is definitely a challenge, or people might be in different parts of the country, so that also goes hand in hand with that. Not only, just to mention like the financial burden, because a lot of these in the military or service, they have a couple, maybe a few jobs that they're holding down, or families already. They might have had a quick civil ceremony and they haven't really had the wedding. So there's a lot of things juggling. It could be also health care, where one of them have gotten injured. So it's, a lot of coordination. The financial part is also, I think, a relief to be able to get a dress, because it's just a nice way to save some extra money. So
Definitely. That's definitely something that girls especially will think about for so long, even before a wedding, is the dress, because that's what people, or girls a lot of times will get so excited about. So that's a really amazing gift that you can give to people.
And we have a few programs coming up this year to actually enhance what we do. We're gifting 10 couples this year in October. Girls can submit their love story to the Vera Wang experience in New York City, so they can go and they get a dress from Vera, they get tuxedos, they get wedding bands, china, towels. I mean, there's a lot that, is gifted, so it's a really nice opportunity. And
that's amazing.
And then we're working on a wedding in Chicago, so where that takes off a huge burden for somebody. They get the whole wedding. So we try to enhance what we do and try to support as much as possible. So
absolutely. So how can brides submit their love story?
Yes, they can go right on bridesacrossamerica.com. They'll see right on the homepage, and they can submit right through our website.
Awesome.
And there's a deadline on that. That's August 16th, so it's coming around the corner. Yeah.
So is your organization very local, or is it anyone in the country or beyond?
Right. Our headquarters are in Andover, Mass, but we are nationwide. So
awesome.
all our programs are national. We just finished out all our events all throughout the country. We had partner salons that participated. We gifted a lot of gowns. We're working with a military installation coming up in August that we're partnering with. So, And you know, we try to do what we can to gift out. And again, we're fairly a little bit newer on the first responders. That's been opened up in our program in the last couple of years.
Wow.
Since Boston and the bombing and all of that, we
That's
thought
amazing.
that, you know, they're front lines. So, you know, they support our country too. So,
Definitely, that's amazing. So, that's amazing work that you do. I'm just more interested also now to find out maybe how you got involved with. You're the CEO and founder. Maybe how did this idea come to you, and how did you get?
right.
going.
So, I was working with some other charities. One was based in Africa, and the other one was based in Afghanistan. And as I was doing more research and really getting involved and really loving what they were represented, I came across a soldier's story, which was really the turning point in what I was doing. So I was newly opening my own store, which is Tool Bridal, and that also is in Andover right now. But we just decided to give away dresses because I wanted to support those soldiers that were overseas and really make a difference and say thank you, because they thought they were forgotten in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So where a lot of the attention was on Iraq. So, and it's just been snowballed since then. I mean, we're 11th year. So it's been an amazing opportunity to be able to give back. And, you know, what really keeps me going in this nonprofit is really hearing the stories and, you know, seeing the people that were really truly touching their lives and giving them the opportunity to either get a gown or a wedding.
So will you like fly out if you have a bride maybe in California? Will you ever meet her in person, or is it all kind of through online?
Sometimes I get to meet them if we're at a specific event, or we had a girl that flew from Hawaii to our
Wow.
location in Andover, because that's
So cool.
that's been open for a year. That's the outlet store where anybody can go there and purchase a gown, and we fundraise through that. So
Mhm.
their money gives back, you know, in helping
That's
those
awesome.
girls get free things. So, and we hold our events there as well every first Friday of every month. So this girl flew in from Hawaii, and she was in the service. So it was nice. We get to meet them hands-on. So
That's so cool.
yeah,
Very cool.
It was really great.
Yeah, that's one thing, is like being able to actually be with someone and like hear their story one-on-one. That is one of the most game-changing things for a lot of people. I know that Sarah had just mentioned when we were talking earlier, William Shuttleworth. Had you heard about William and his trek across the country?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dick George was a big supporter
Of course.
him. And I just think it's fantastic. You know, more and more people really need to support our heroes on a daily basis and really try to do good versus, you know, there's a lot of things going on in our country that, you know, is a struggle for a lot of people. So, you know, it's a lot better way to spread love, be joyful, and, you know, he's supporting the military by walking across the country, which is amazing, and you know, kudos to him.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think that's amazing. And we spoke with him in the same room a couple weeks ago, and he was mentioning stories that he'd heard from people he met as he made this journey across the country, and it just even touched him so much as someone who already knows about all these stories, but just hearing it from someone one-on-one in person just has that factor that just opens your mind and changes makes something so much more important to you. And definitely watching William's journey has opened my mind even more so, just about all of the needs of veterans and how really serious and important that is.
I think, you know, people, it's easy to go day to day, and I was doing the same thing, you know, not really recognizing. I mean, people are still being deployed. We are still getting both females and male being
Right.
deployed this year. So even though they say, oh, everything's over, well, they're still going overseas. They're still putting themselves in harm's way. I mean, we have people even with hurricanes and storms and things that go on here that, and shootings that go on,
Yeah.
that we have first responders right there. We have National Guard that's out, patrolling and things like that. So it's a dangerous place out there. So I think if more people are aware, and that was really the biggest thing for me, was not just doing this local, but doing it national, so that I could get my other partners that have bridal stores and wedding facilities to also bring it to their community, to make people aware of what the situation is. Because there's people out in Humvees and things overseas, and they're getting blown up. So and then they're coming back with lost limbs and things like that. Even here, one of our brides was, and she's one of our ambassadors, Roseanne Sodia. She was part of the Boston bombing, and her fiance ended up being the fireman who saved her. So she was a beautiful tragedy. It was a tragic story,
Right.
but also a love story. Where she had a opportunity. We gave her a dress and helped her facilitate some of her wedding planning.
Amazing.
And I just think a little goes a long way sometimes for people.
Definitely. Yeah. And I like what you said. Excuse me. I like what you said about how, you can just go about your day not even thinking about it. And that's so true for so many people who just may not think about it until something comes into your life, where you then start thinking more about these people who are giving so much for our country and the people in this country. And it's just so meaningful when you think about how some people's lives are dedicated to that, while we're able to just go about our day to day, not even thinking twice about it until.
Yeah. And I think the expectations of people are really high today. We are a nonprofit. We are a small charity,
Right.
even though we have a big mission,
Yeah.
and it's hard sometimes to keep it going, because, you have all walks of life that, might not be happy about what you're doing or criticize or whatever. And I mean, that's just kind of the nature of doing business. But,
Absolutely.
you want to do something good. And I think that's the biggest thread, is to share love and really, make a difference. Because really nothing else matters, in the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And yes, definitely with doing business, you're always going to come into some people who have something to say, even though you're maybe working so hard and they don't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we here at NCM Hub also can relate, because we do try to be like this resource for organizations like yourself to have a platform to talk about the work they do, or whether we're filming something and then maybe technology doesn't work. Sometimes people may criticize, but in reality, we're really just working hard to provide a service
Right.
that wouldn't be here without organizations like us.
Yeah, exactly. So, you have to just think of, all the good that you're doing, and, hopefully making that moment, that special moment, that once in a lifetime, where, this isn't just like we're giving away clothes. We're doing a memory here.
Yeah.
This is like amazing, that they're going to wear that dress and, be united with their, fiance, whether, we're open platform these days. So, it really doesn't matter. But, and sharing the joy with family and friends, and those memories they last forever.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely, definitely. I love the aspect of love and how really that is a big part of what you do, and a lot of what a lot of nonprofits and a lot of veteran services, it's all about.
Yeah, and you put your heart and soul into it, and keep it going as much as possible. I mean, it is, at the end of the day, it is it has to run like a business.
Yep.
And so our funding is really important. Our donors that donate financially really go a long way with us, and providing our events and so that's always our biggest struggle is every year, coming up with funding to
Yeah.
keep it going. So
So do you have a lot of dresses donated, like physical dresses are being
yes,
donated?
we
And-
do. We have an abundance of dresses right now, and then that goes into okay, where to store them, and
Yeah.
we appreciate everything everybody does and wants to do. But I would say for most nonprofits, the financial aspect is key to success, as well
Yeah.
as the donations. Those help too. But right now we have an overflow of gowns, and funding is always our biggest thing right now.
People think that maybe just donating a dress, that's all you
Yeah.
guys do, but
Right.
in reality, it's a whole production and it requires a lot more
You're
moving
right.
parts.
It is a
Yeah.
production.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
a lot of moving parts.
Definitely.
We've opened up like I said, our store,
Mhm.
the outlet store, where people can come in and, that's a new avenue for us to try to keep our fundraising going.
Right, that's what I was going to
So-
say about like your website. Is there a way to donate on your website?
Yes, bridesacrossamerica.com. You can go right online and donate financially, or you can gift a gown as well. And then if anybody's interested in the outlet store, that one's under baaoutlet.com, and they can go in if they have a special occasion. We have formal gowns there. We have shoes and veils and accessories and jewelry and lots of wedding gowns. But it's a pretty amazing place.
Absolutely, yeah. So, and you're doing more than just even donating dresses. Like for that, you said the 10 couples, you're donating like more. So it's like access to a salon, right? What else goes into that? What else are they going to be receiving if they get chosen?
Okay, so the Vera Wang experience, they will get a Vera Wang gown,
Okay,
a bridal gown.
very cool.
They will get tuxedos, bridesmaids, wedding bands.
Wow.
They are getting towels, Vera towels, china, perfume, sunglasses. So it's a whole day of
Amazing.
festivities, and one couple will be chosen out of the 10 to get styled by Vera herself. So, I mean,
Wow.
she's such an iconic fashion,
Yeah. So have you met with her personally?
Not yet, but I will be.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I used to work for her store long ago, and always had her dear to my heart. So I just look up to her like she's such an icon. It's
Absolutely.
just amazing. So it will be really exciting.
Yeah, isn't that funny how life works out?
Mhm.
Where
would be
you're working at a
huge.
store and now you're going to be doing something totally different, so meaningful, and you're going to be meeting with her and talking about
Right.
it. I love that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then after that, the wedding will be coming. So
Yeah.
that will be super cool.
The wedding.
The wedding. We'll be gifting a wedding in
Okay.
Chicago.
Right.
Yes.
So was that a contest also?
That will be rolled out as a similar contest. It's not up yet, but
Okay.
once Vera is all said and done, then we'll be rolling into a wedding.
So it was just the location was just Chicago, and anyone in Chicago could submit their love stories.
Really, anybody, and same with Vera, anybody in the
Yeah.
whole nation can apply to the program. So they would just have to get themselves.
Their wedding would just be in Chicago.
The wedding will be in Chicago.
What is the location like? I'm so interested.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's on the, I think it's the harbor or river front, I guess, there. I'm not
Beautiful.
too familiar with Chicago. I've been there a couple
Right.
times. But there's a whole wedding venue, and they'll be getting everything from cake, flowers, dinner. I mean, amazing.
Wow.
So
So is that deadline also August 16th?
that one is not. That one probably won't roll out until end of August. Or I think
Okay.
September 1st is going to roll out.
Gotcha.
And that deadline will be probably October, November. And then the wedding will be from November to January. So that's
Okay.
kind of the plan right now. But
November.
some really cool things for the end of the year.
Definitely. Absolutely. That's awesome. So do you have anything planned for next year yet?
No, not yet.
Not
No,
yet.
these are just the two big big things, and really wanted to focus mostly on the VERA experience and, finding great stories. And we've had a lot of submissions so far, and I look for more. And
so do you do the contests often, or is this like the first couple of times you've done the contest?
We haven't had one for a few years. So we gifted a wedding down in the Keys in Florida.
Beautiful.
For a military couple, and those two were both, they actually met in Afghanistan.
Wow.
So it was a cool story.
Yeah. Absolutely. So how many dresses would you say you give away every year?
We give away, around 2,500 a year, give or take. So,
wow.
I mean, we've been up to about 24,000 the last time I kind of checked.
Oh.
And our wedding count's been about 22.
That's
22
crazy.
weddings. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. How does that feel? Do you just feel so like proud? Are you very proud of this thing like that you've created? Must be your baby.
Yeah, it is my baby, and I think like I said, what really is rewarding for me is hearing how it helps people.
Right.
And that's kind of who I am as a person. I really like to help people. So, and hearing their stories, how they met and how they fell in love, and what it means to them, and a lot of the times it's just taking that extra burden off their shoulders or that weight. So
definitely.
You know, and they come up to me and say, "Oh, thank you so much," and and I'm like, well, wait a minute, this isn't what it's about. It's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about your service.
Yeah.
And
right.
thanking them for what they're doing on a daily basis.
Very true.
So
do you guys have social media that people can follow Brides Across America on?
Sure. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter. So we have it all.
Cool. So I'll make sure to follow Brides Across America. That's the handle.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
Very cool. So I'm interested, how did you get to meet Dick George? Because that's who brought us together today.
True. So I am, we are Brides Across America's beneficiary of Run for the Troops.
Okay.
Which is the 5K race that they do every year.
Right.
In Andover. And Bill Pennington hits up that, and we were at one of the dinners, and I met Dick at the dinner. And we just kind of hit it off from that point on, and he just believed in our mission. And he's quite the guy, and
Absolutely.
he just knows how to get things done. And
yep. So I've been pretty involved with working with Dick this summer, and he does a lot of cool stuff with veterans as well.
He does.
So they do fishing trips, and they're doing a whale watch and all this cool stuff. So we definitely have a lot of resources for veterans, and I just think that making that more available to our veterans is like one of the most important things that we can do, is sharing and talking about like all the things that are available for these people who have given so much for other people.
I agree that it would be easier to have some kind of resource. A lot of people don't know about it, People don't know about us and what we do, and and the great work he does. I mean, the fishing trips and whale watches are like great for them to go. And there's also Ironstone Farm, which we're connected to, also up in Andover, who is also one of the race beneficiaries, and it's an equine center, and they invite people there to relax and kind of get reset.
Right. Yeah, I know there are some like local equine opportunities for veterans to work with horses, and it's just like healing for them.
Very true.
Very cool. A very cool thing, because horses are amazing and veterans are amazing. So when they can have something amazing happen, that's awesome. But yeah, I worked with a community center in Derry, New Hampshire when I was, I think, 16, and I was contacting like veterans organizations and like collecting resources for them. So that was really when I personally started thinking about like, oh, like access to resources for veterans. And like as that seems to develop in my life, it just, you think so much about it, like maybe there would be less stigma around everything related to like being in the military or like marrying someone who's in the military if these resources were more available and if people talked about it more. So
True.
definitely William is doing a great job raising awareness, and he is having a welcome home celebration that I'm sure you are more than welcome to join on September 15th is the current plan. So that's if William makes it home, and I think he left, I want to say he left in May. So it's like 5, maybe 6 months or something that he's going to make it across the country. 72-year-old veteran walking all the way across the country on foot. And I remember when we spoke, he said that he had done like 24 miles in one day, which was like a lesser of the miles he'd walked previously because it was really hot. It's like 104 degree weather. So yeah, it's just incredible what his body can do, you know. And it just goes to show like the people who are serving our country are absolutely amazing and outstanding individuals who really do deserve so much more than often I feel like maybe they receive.
True.
Definitely. Not
I
maybe,
agree.
because definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, they deserve everything. So is there anything else that you would like to close out with, maybe commenting on about Brides Across America?
Just, we're hoping to just keep our mission going, and we're thankful for all our supporters and wonderful people in our lives that really believe in us and what we're doing. And it kind of takes a village to create all these things, and a good team. And sometimes it's hard to, we have inventory and things that we have to check over, and it's a lot of manpower to really make this happen.
Definitely.
So I think, some people might not be aware of that it does. And like I said, we're a small team, so we have a big mission that we try to partake in. So,
Definitely.
but we make it happen, and we'll continue doing it until as long as we can.
It's amazing. It's amazing what you do. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And to all our listeners, you can find our video on demand and our radio shows online, so at ncmhub.org, if you want to watch this over or catch some of our other shows. So thank you, Heidi, for coming on and talking with me today, and everyone have a great day.